It's okay. I haven't been interviewed since like 2014, so and I wasn't good at it then. So.
Alright, so we'll make a break there.
Drink this coffee.
I did a photo shoot for the Wild Things back in the day. I had like never done a photo shoot before, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Did they like the photos?
I think so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but I was like, I was like convinced they were lying to me because I didn't think that was very good, you know?
Well, that's how artists are.
Yeah.
Too.
So I went back and looked at them. And I'm like, they're not bad. Like later on.
Like anytime anyone says something good, you're like,
I'm like,
well, you're lying because it's obviously shit.
Yeah. I had no idea what I was saying. So it was really good.
My name is Daniel. I made music as Heirlo and TV Boy.
When did you start developing an interest in music? Like, first start playing instruments or singing or anything?
Birth. I loved music when I was really tiny. My mom used to play songs in the car, and I definitely showed that I had like favorites. I started singing really, really young, probably like 7 or 8, and then I did theater for a long time. And don't mind that, it's just the hiss of my free trial. So I started having an interest in dance music when I started playing DDR in 8th grade. My MP3 player was loaded up with the Mani songs from DDR. So that's really when I was like, okay, like anything that doesn't have a synthesizer sucks.
Yeah. How old were you when we met? Because
9th grade.
9th grade?
9th grade.
So I was in like 5th grade then.
Yeah.
Because I just remember, the reason I bring it up is because I remember like back until I was like probably 13, I started listening to like my own music. I would just listen to whatever my sister listened to, and she listened to, I'm pretty sure, whatever like you put on a mix for her. So I'm like down the line, I was just getting like whatever music.
Yeah. By then I was really into like electro pop, so I was listening to a lot of Lights and a lot of Lights.
A lot of Lights. I listened to a Stray Lit Run song on the way here.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, this is perfect, setting the mood.
Yeah, I really liked alternative music too, so I was really into Stray Lit Run and Brand New and Take Me Next Sunday. Brand New's canceled though, dead forever. It made me sad.
Yeah.
But if you're a shitbag, I can't listen to your music anymore.
So I've seen you go through various like musical identities and like stage personas and stuff. The only one I can really remember from like back in the day is Sleepyhead.
Yep.
I'm sure you had others. And then you were like Daniel Robinson, and then now you're Heirlo and TV Boy.
TV Boy, yeah. Which
I only found that out because I caught you on Localized. And it didn't like immediately connect that it was you, because they were just saying like TV Boy the whole time. And then but you were saying like, yeah, like I lived in Tennessee and then I moved back or whatever. And I was like,
oh yeah, the interview, right?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. So first of all, I guess like how do you feel looking back on your previous projects throughout, since you've like had so many throughout your life as you were?
It's it was all steps. You know, like with everything that I did, it got better and more polished, and closer to what I wanted to do all the time. Always like inching forward. Sleepyhead was like a ukulele thing, because I learned how to play ukulele in middle school and high school. And as soon as I could do that, I was always like writing poetry. So I was able to like put those words to chords. Didn't know any theory at all, still don't. Like I know like very basic like theory, enough to like compose a song, but that's it. And I really didn't know anything about like pop music or hooks or how anything was supposed to work, so I was just doing this like freeform shit over like ukulele chords. And then later on I bought a microKORG, and I was on this teeny little synthesizer like adding these like electronic parts that were all the same preset. They were all like this, like I think it was called like hip hop synth or something like that, but it was this really squeaky, like cute, soft sound. And I really wanted to learn how to make electronic music because that was my favorite. You know, that's when it started really becoming something that I listened to all the time, and I didn't know where to start because it's like very complex for someone who's never done it. So I met my friend Mark, he's in Toronto, and we started working together and making like electronic music. And then more and more I started producing more and more of the songs, helping produce. And now I'm full tilt, like producing the whole thing. I wasn't really like proud of anything for longer than 6 months until I started recording stuff as Heirlo. So the stuff that I recorded for this project 2-3 years ago, I still really am proud of those songs. I still love them. They're so close to my heart. Really, anything before that, I was like, oh, you know, it's a little embarrassing to listen to it, but that's okay because it was important. They were all important at the time. I don't think I would listen to anything.
Yeah, can't go back and listen.
Yeah, that I did before this stuff. So I'm like, oh, that vocal could have been better. Like, I don't know why I mixed that way. Mm-hmm. Is that good?
No, it's good. I kind of figured like
my bad.
So you're doing Heirlo and TV Boy, like both, right now?
Sort of.
Right?
Yeah, they're both.
Back and forth.
I consider them both like active projects.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So on the Localized interview that I caught, you were talking about how you were kind of like sick of electronic music and wanted to go back to like alternative, like guitars and stuff, but now you're back on electronic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was hard for me because dance music is and always was my favorite kind of music. I like other things, and when it gets harder to make that stuff, I will go do something else. So like a long story where that came from, I was like working with somebody who is like a pretty big producer, and he and I were working on the song, like working really hard on it. Like he sent me a track, I wrote the vocal for it, and he didn't like certain parts of it, so we were like massaging that out. I went to the studio to record this vocal like 4 times. I thought we like had it down, and I didn't hear from him for like a really long time. So weeks later, he's like, I was sick, I had to use someone else's vocal, can I keep this for like future use? And I was like, absolutely not, because I was not having this song like shelved and like not to ever come out, you know. That happened right after another bigger producer like ghosted me. And this was all because I put out like a collaboration with my friends 4 AM called Oath Keeper, and people really liked it. And then I got all these like messages like, oh, can you work with me on this? Can you do this track? What do you think? And I was so excited, and I was really just like taking like everything that came my way. But a lot of it fell through, and I was really like discouraged. And I just moved back from Tennessee, which is like this horrible, horrible time for me. It was just really frustrating. And the kind of music that I was working on really became like homogenized and like overdone. And I try not to be a snob because, you know, but I just couldn't like listen to any of it anymore. I don't know what I like anymore. So as far as like writing new music, I couldn't figure out where I wanted to go. So I just started playing guitar because I was just like sick of listening to that stuff. I was sick of like the culture like that was happening in the circle of people that I know and, you know, make the same type of music. I hated it. Like I was just over it. And I would just like, and it was the same thing like we were talking about earlier, like these artists that I look up to would like be a douchebag on Twitter, and I'd be like, okay, like I should have just listened to your music and not like paid attention to you like as a person. So all of that frustration culminated in me like because I was so frustrated, I needed an outlet, so I couldn't stop making music. I didn't listen to anything with synthesizers. Everything I listened to was like indie rock or like lo-fi like shit. It was totally polar opposite of like this polished, gorgeous, huge maximalist stuff that I was doing. The thing with like indie music is like lyrics. Like that's what I like in an indie song. Guitar music has to have, like for me, really like confessional, truth telling like narratives. So I was focused more on that stuff, like writing something good. And the TV Boy song that came out, I did like 5 of them and I only put one out. It was called Live On, and that was actually one of the songs that I was working on with one of those huge producers. And I took it totally opposite of what it was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. The other one was Titans, which was an Heirlo song. Right. And Titans was the one that I was sure it was gonna work out, and it didn't, but I wanted to keep it. Titans was a big deal because that was finding like where I wanted to go with dance music. Because what I did is I had to get back into it, I had to go back and figure out like why I liked electronic music. So I was listening to a lot of those DDR songs. I was listening to a lot of this like classic trance music. And this was all because I've always kind of followed the same trajectory as my favorite artist. He did this maximalist, like beautiful, he like invented that sound that became really homogenized.
Who is this?
Porter Robinson.
Okay.
So he like, to me, you know, blended this like trancey stuff with like analog sounds and glitchy sounds, and he made this album Worlds. It's just like, that album was a big deal to me. So I started making that because I was really inspired. And then it became overdone over and over again. So he started this project called Virtual Self. Virtual Self was this love letter to like trance music from the early 2000s, Y2K era. So that reminded me of that stuff, and I started like really like listening to like trance and hardcore and acid and breakbeat, and I was like, holy shit, like this sounds like what I listened to when I was a kid, and I first was discovering this type of music. So I got back into that and fell in love with it again, and then it was still like my creativity was like locked behind this wall. The digital audio station I was using, Logic, was just like not cutting it for like getting my ideas down, and like I stopped using Logic and I switched to a workstation called Ableton, and then it just all like started like flying out of me. Like I did this song in 3 days, and I don't think I've ever done a song in 3 days. Like I always just thought I was slow, but it was really just my workflow was not working with the tools that I had. So now it's just coming out. So awesome. I'm excited about it. I'm reinvigorated. So TV Boy's on hiatus, but I'm sure I'll want to come back to it. Usually in the fall.
Yeah.
In the fall is like when I like I can fuck with some guitars.
Yeah.
Summer is like dance music.
Yeah, I feel that, yeah. Okay, the next few things are mostly like preferences sort of thing. So do you prefer writing and recording music, or touring and playing shows?
Writing and recording music. I hate playing shows.
Yeah. I know you've talked to me a little bit about that, but
yeah, I work really hard trying to make stuff sound good, and like when you're at the level I'm at, which is like, you know, don't have a lot of people showing up, you get like your mix, like the fucking sound guy like turns the knob all the way up and goes and has a beer.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just, it doesn't come across right. And I think a show, like, for me, I'm big into like an experience, like creating an experience. And if someone's standing in the way of that, I don't want to do it. You can just put your headphones on and listen to it on SoundCloud and get the same thing.
How do you get your music? Like, do you like stream, digital download, buy it physically, album, like vinyl, CD?
Things I like to listen to.
Because like some people like don't buy music anymore, like they just stream it.
Yeah.
But also like vinyl's coming back, you know. So
yeah, I mean I have a huge record collection, but it's really a mix. So I stream, I still buy stuff. Some of the like more obscure things I listen to are really hard to find streaming, and sometimes even like in the store. I've gone to like weird like Russian forums to like illegally download like things I just can't get, because it's like this like indie trance circle that was making stuff in like 2002, and like you can't buy that anymore. You know, it's not for sale. So a mix, illegally downloading, if I can't find it to buy. Sometimes I buy off of sometimes I have to buy a CD, like off of Amazon Japan or whatever, like to get it. But records, streaming's the primary one though that I use, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I was resistant for a long time. I'll always buy other things from artists because streaming is like extremely unfair.
Speaking of records, did you do record store this past weekend? Record store day?
No.
No.
I can't fuck with all those people.
I haven't done it in years.
I don't even know where to go anymore because record theaters
closed.
closed.
I almost wore my record theater shirt today actually. They got new Revolver records on album though.
Yeah. What's that? Like, does that carry all sorts of genres, or is it pretty specific?
I got a Fall Out Boy and Sonic Youth there, but they also have like whole. Oh, and I actually on the same day I got Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. That's pretty.
Varied. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know there's one called Black Dots, but I think Black Dots is mostly like punk music.
Yeah, they only have
Can't do punk.
Yeah.
It's too like screamy for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like punk. I like hardcore music, but I can't do the screaming.
Yeah.
I gotta find I like the hardcore instrumentals and stuff. Like I can't. I gotta tone down the voice a little bit.
You should listen to. There's a genre of music called trancecore, which is like the stuff that I like mixed with metal. Like I hate it, but like.
But I might like it.
But like you might like it because I feel like it might be up your alley if you like hardcore instrumentals.
Yeah.
But I like metal kick drums.
Okay, yeah.
So like speedcore kind of borrows those double kicks, like the.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot more like genre overlap these days.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we just had that like #1 hit was like a rap country song.
Yeah. People are obsessed with like originality. So I think like to really truly make something that like people have not heard, you really have to blend. I don't give a fuck about being original. Do not care. I've said it so many times because I've been panned many times for like doing things that people have done before. I'm a genre expander, so that's kind of my role. I think as an artist, I think there's like people who like push boundaries, create new sounds. You think with Bjork, like I always think of Bjork, like so like off the wall, no one's heard it before, and they create a space. And then you have people that expand upon that space because there's not a lot of it, right? So if you're someone who listens to a lot of music that's not super popular and you're an artist, like you can expand upon that space so you have more to listen to. Like really, like I'm just a music fan and I want to create more things I want to hear. I'm not interested in like having to create something all the time, because then I feel like you get in this vicious cycle where you're always trying to like outdo yourself. Don't care about that. Just want to make stuff that is not as poppin' so that it can be poppin'. And then there's people who just like listen to stuff and copy it, and like that's how genres become tired and old and overdone. And those people I feel like are the worst out of the bunch. So. Oh wait, I think I got it. Oh, just kidding. Yeah. They taped this super weird. Oh, you could totally like.
I was gonna give you my big knife, and then I was like, I probably don't need it.
I just bought a knife. So this is. I feel like not what I ordered actually. No, it is. Okay. This is a symphonic orchestra plugin. Also, they sent me candy. Wow. And I hate Pro Tools, but I had to use it like when I went to college for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was gonna toss it, but then it would, yeah. So, The fuck is this shit? It's also interesting because I ordered Platinum Plus, and this has gold, so I'm a little concerned. I think this is a hard drive because they sent me a USB. Who? Like, who packs shit like this?
That's my car key, yeah.
I love how this looks like a key. Oh my god, is it a key too?
No, it doesn't open anything.
It's so you can like shank people
Yeah, so
secretly.
You can secretly, yeah.
You never know. I mean, we live in a crazy time.
I mean,
You may have to shank someone.
yeah.
It's like if you met the president in person, you may have to shank him. What the hell? I'm super confused about like what exactly is going on and why they gave me 2 cables. This is just like a regular ass hard drive.
I don't know what you were expecting, so.
Like something branded, I don't know. Anyway. Do this later. What were we talking? I don't know. I don't even know what we were talking about. I think we were done. I think we were moving on.
We were done. Okay. What was the first album that you got with your own money?
No doubt, Tragic Kingdom.
What was the most recent album you bought or otherwise acquired if you don't buy albums, which we established that sometimes you do.
I can't remember. Like I haven't bought one in a long time. I was looking. I can tell you the next one I'm gonna buy.
Okay.
I was looking at a vinyl version of Selected Ambient Works by Aphex Twin.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the next one I'm gonna buy.
What's the first concert you ever went to? And you said you're not a big concert player, you're a concert goer.
Not as much as like some people, because I also like hate going because I'm not a people person.
Yeah.
And I love experiencing music live. I love it. But when people are like drunk and like pushing, it's just not. It's not great. The last one I went to though was Virtual Self.
What was the first one you went to?
Oh, first one. That was the question.
Yeah.
Lost it. ADD. Something really embarrassing, like American Idol or something, like the first season winners.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like 10.
Okay, so what are you working towards the future of your music?
I am currently working on an album.
Like full length?
I don't know. We'll see.
Alright.
You know, like a lot of times I do EPs because I just get tired of it, and then I just want to start something new. So, but the pace that I'm working at, you know, could be fine.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about or promote?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Where can we find you?
Anywhere, really. Facebook.
Well, we need like your usernames.
Oh,
or whatever.
Heirlo on Instagram. Heirlo here on Twitter. Heirlo here.
At first I thought.
Those are like the important ones, and SoundCloud is Heirlo too.
I'm sorry. First when you just said here, I thought you meant like I'm in my apartment.
Yeah.
I'm
Spotify
here.
is where all my music is. Apple Music. Whatever. Deezer. Don't know what that is, but it's on there.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing.